Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to more information on the upcoming Superiority patch. I am currently on the dev server, and I'm just going to give, if you couldn't be bothered to watch the dev stream that Gaijin did, I'm just going to go through all the new vehicles very briefly. So hopefully this won't take more than 10-15 minutes. Unfortunately, because I'm not a content creator and I don't have tons of time, I won't be able to grind for all the stuff. Because, I mean, you've seen what my tech trees look like, and I don't get all the GE to just GE my way through the tech tree, so, but I will give you previews of them. And I've had a bit of a look at how other people taking them out, so I have kind of an idea how most of them, what they're like in terms of performance. So firstly, starting with American tanks, we have the M1A2 SEP V2. It's basically just, I think of it as kind of like the Abrams version of the PSO, or there's the Leopard PSO, or the Leclerc Azure. Basically heavier with more ERA on the sides. You get a whole bunch of ERA tiles on the sides, and on the bottom of the hull you also get these ERA blocks. So basically fat Abrams but more ERA. And you also get different commander's sight, I think. Or, yeah, you get this optics bit up here, which I'm pretty sure you don't get on the other SEP, even with the Tusk kit attached. I don't know, because this comes with the Tusk 2 kit by default, I think. Oh, it also gets mine protection, which a lot of the other new top MBTs are getting, which just makes it heavier. But these are the shells. The best one is the M829A2 dart round, and yes, looks to be basically just a standard top tier MBT. Then you also get the M1A1 clickbait. Hang on, seems like Gaijin just doesn't like me doing these. Anyway, so the M1A1 clickbait, I can actually test drive this one. So it gets the M829A1 as its top shell. So I'll just quickly take it out into a test drive. I think there's a new test drive map as well. I'm not sure if it's going to be implemented in game. Mike and Tom on the dev stream, they didn't know. They said that they weren't sure, but either way it looks quite nice. Not sure if it's been implemented on the dev server either. We'll find out. Yes, this is an arcade, but yeah, it looks very nice. My computer's having a bit of a moment, but yeah. Standard top tier point and shoot from the looks of it. Well, actually, yeah, this is what the decorations look like with the armchair. It's a Marine Corps version, and pretty sure the HC, unlike a lot of other Abrams, has soft kill APS. Yeah, it's got soft kill APS. So it's all very nice. Anyway, but you don't really need to know about the M1A1HC because it's just a premium version of the one in the tech tree. Just a Marine Corps, one that was in the Marine Corps, with a deck chair on top, because I mean everybody needs a deck chair. I wonder if it'll work kind of like the pizza on a couple of the Challenger 2s, where it prematurely triggers top attack ATGMs. That'd be funny. Anyway, I think that's all the new tanks the Americans are getting. Nothing helicopter wise, aircraft wise. Dun dun dun. only one new aircraft, I'm pretty sure, but it's a doozy. Crikey, mate, it's a doozy. The F-15A. It's finally here. So, if you want to see its secondary weapons, it gets 4 AIM-9Ms. So it gets 2 less Sidewinders than what the F-16 can carry, but it can carry 4 Sparrows, so 2 extra missiles, but you only get the option of having 4 IR missiles. And then you basically take drop tanks or bombs, so which I guess kind of works, because ground RB, you don't need so much fuel in air RB if you're playing this as an air superiority fighter. You don't really need bombs. So from what I've seen, it's kind of just like an S-16 on steroids. Once again, this is the Devserver. And it rips its wings a lot apparently. But other than that, it does have a fair amount of countermeasures, 240, which will be very nice. And yes, very nice aircraft to come to the game. And then finally for America, I think. Having connection issues, I think. The Roanoke. I don't know a ton about the ship. I'm sure if Seven Sabin is in the comments, he might correct me if I'm wrong. But it just looks to be a boat. The fire rate, 12 rounds a minute for a 152, I think is quite fast. What's that? How 60 over 12 is, yeah, 5-second reload for a 152. That is very good. So yes, that looks all very nice, very nice. As I said, I don't know a ton about boats, nothing there. And then Germany, they get, in the video that I posted yesterday, also you'll notice this is rank 8 now, in the video that I posted yesterday, Seven Sabin and I were trying to figure out what kind of leopard it was. In the end he was right, saying it was a 2A7V. I think this is just a textures still being worked on. I don't think it will come to the game like this, but that'd be funny. But yeah, it is the 2A7V with the L55A1 cannon. So it gets DM53 as its top round, and once again it gets mine protection. It does have extra armor here, I'm pretty sure. Well, it does have composite here, but I'm not sure if that's add-on compared to the other models or not. Once again, Seven Sabin will probably correct me in the chat because he is the leopard expert. That's all Germany gets in terms of tanks. Nothing for helicopters. Nothing for aircraft. No aircraft. Oh, yes, they get one thing. Boo. They get a Tornado IDS. And it's just pretty much identical to the Marienflieger one that was the event a little while ago, but it doesn't get the anti-ship missiles. So it's a premium pre-order pack. I'd honestly say just get the Leisure. What? Oh, my keybind's messed up. Okay. Oh, because we're on the Devserver. That's why. This is an arcade mode. The Tornado does not turn this well in the RRB, or roll that well without snapping its wings. Anyway, you all know it and hate it, so I'm not going to waste much more time with the Tornado. Alright, I just looked at how long I've been recording. It says it's been 7 minutes already, so this could be a slightly longer video than I was intending, sorry. Blue Water Fleet, nothing. Coastal, nothing. Russia. Oh boy. First tanks, we get the T90M. basically a T90 with extra ERA, I think, and a remote weapon station. It's got this chain link. That's the X-ray. Whole ton of relic. Oh yeah, that's the other difference, because I'm pretty sure the T90A gets contact 5, but this gets relic, which is quite a bit better. I'd say probably not modelled correctly, but oh well. And then in terms of modifications, that's not modelled correctly against kinetic rounds, but who knows. 3BM60 is your top dart shell, and then you've also got the tandem ATGMs, barrel fired. So yes, basically standard T90 stuff, but everything good about it, and still no reverse gear. Aviation. Oh boy. SU-27. This thing, honestly, I reckon it doesn't look as scary as the F-15. It is absolutely massive though. It doesn't look as scary as the F-15 in my opinion, however it does get... That's right, 6 R27ERs, or 6 R73s. That's quite impressive. It doesn't get an external fuel tank. Of course that could change, this is the Devserver after all, but that's going to be interesting in terms of longevity. That gets a bunch of dumb bombs and dumb rockets, but no guided ordnance, because it's mostly air superiority. But yes, one other thing that's going to be quite... I do wonder the balance between the missiles on this and the ones on the F-15. It seems slightly better loadout on this, to say the least, particularly radar missile-wise. I suspect things will change once we get AMRAAMs, but I was right saying that we're not getting them this patch. Countermeasures, you only get 96. They are large caliber ones, but still. But yes, that's going to be very scary to face that missile load. Oh, actually, nothing new here. Or here. Oh yeah, I forgot I got a talisman for that, even though I've never used it once. Alright, Britain. Challenger 3. Basically, hang on, I should change this, because the most important change with this Challenger 3 is the engine. So, sorry. Alright, the Challenger 3, it gets... Stock it's a 1327, but I think fully upgraded it's 1500 horsepower engine, so that brings it up to the standard of the Leopards, which is quite nice. It's got more armor here. I don't know if that's new armor. Basically, it's a Challenger 2E, but on steroids. And the other biggest difference to the late Challenger 2s, or at least in my opinion, is it's now got the Rheinmetall L55A1 cannon, which means instead of having L27A1 shot with the rifled cannon, it's got DM53 from a smoothbore gun, which I think is going to be interesting to see how that changes what the Challenger is like. But it's basically either a faster Challenger 2, as in like standard Challenger 2, or a better protected Challenger 2E. Also the mantlet's been redesigned with the new gun. Yes. Should clarify, this is the prototype version of the Challenger 3. Obviously it's not in service yet, but that shows how far ahead tanks are in terms of our timeline compared to aircraft. Then Challenger 2 OES. Basically a TES, but with some different ERA on the sides, and you get the slat armor. Same L30 gun, and same pizza on top. Wait, is it the TES that gets the pizza? Yeah, it is. So yeah, quite similar. There is supposed to be heat absorbing paint on this that makes it harder to spawn thermals, but I don't think they've modelled that as far as I know. We need more British helicopters. Anyway, nothing so far for Britain. but we will be getting the Gripen C at some point, the South African one. I shall explain that a bit more when I get to the other one. Ships, we get the HMS Orion. I don't know much about this other than it is boat. Much slower fire rate compared to the Roanoke. This is a 1914 ship, so yeah, 30-second reload, slightly slower, but it's also a bigger gun caliber. But I don't know much about ships. And nothing on the SAD fleet, coastal fleet. Japan, Type 99 is their new tank. Just standard howitzer. It does kind of look like a VDAR, but it doesn't get rangefinder, but it should get. This has the same velocity as the Type 75 currently on the stat card, but that will change eventually. But looks interesting. Just probably another standard howitzer gameplay. But it should be very high velocity compared to a lot of other howitzers if you look at the length of that barrel. Now, F-15J. Oh boy, this is... The F-15A in the American tech tree doesn't get a ton of scary ordnance. Sorry. Doesn't get a ton of scary ordnance. This, on the other hand, gets AAM-3s. Basically 40G missiles with an AIM-9M seeker. It won't be as good close range as an R-73, because it's not thrust vectoring, but it will have longer range. Plus you get the AIM-7Ms and the AIM-9Ms, so that's going to be very interesting to see what these missiles are like. At longer range they'll probably be the best IR missiles in the game, but close range it'll be the R-73 still. And it's got the same IRCCM as the AIM-9M, if I haven't already said that. Nothing boat-wise for Japan as far as I'm aware. Yes, here is. They get a riverboat. Riverboating, not sure. This is similar to an American boat, apparently, but I can't remember what kind. It's 3-inch guns, dual Bofors, and then some smaller machine guns, and there's a rocket launcher somewhere. Where did that get to? Oh, they're a bunch of 20mm autocannons. I don't know. I can't find the rocket launcher. There is a rocket launcher somewhere. Just trust me on that one. And then China. They get the VT-4B. Once again, you'll notice the rank 8 ground, which is very interesting. It just looks like a standard Chinese MBT. Hang on. It does get 2 reverse gears. They won't change between realistic and... arcade. But how fast you can go on those gears. 16.4, that's pretty good. And the horsepower is also quite good. Very good, actually. So it looks like it's going to be quite a nice MBT. And then for the rounds it gets the DTC-10-125. I think that's a French round. If I'm not mistaken, feel free to correct me in the comments. And then aviation J11. It will be slightly heavier than the J11. You get all the same ordnance, I think. And yeah, it's just a copy paste SU11 for now. But once again, should be very nice, except for possibly the countermeasures isn't a ton at today's top tier. I do question, they have said that they're not going to move them up in BR. not going to increase the BR cap, but personally I think it's a good opportunity to decompress some of the top tier by having that at 12.7, because I reckon the F-15 and the J-11, even without their Fox 3 missiles, is still better than the F-16 and MiG-29, just because they carry more missiles. But oh well, I don't make millions from this game designing it, so I guess I don't get to choose. Italy gets absolutely nothing from memory. Apparently there's some stuff on the way though. France gets, oh yes, a truck. Looks like a similar design aesthetic to the Bosvark. It gets the twin Ehrlichens, like on the Eastervark and the R3, but it's quite a bit bigger. Yeah, same rounds with 57 mils of penetration, so it should be a pretty good AA, because unlike those other two that I just mentioned, it gets 2. However, as tank destroyer, probably not as good because it's quite massive. Oh wait, no, I just skipped one of the most exciting planes. The Mirage 4000, which comes after the F8E, which is interesting, but anyway. Yeah. Very, 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 very strong engines on this, and you get 2 of them, so that is going to be interesting. Paradef is not so exciting, and then that looks like a similar radar to the Mirage 2000s. But yes, this is a prototype jet, which I don't really know a ton about, other than it looks kind of insane from what I've seen from people flying it out in game. And because it's a delta wing, it still has the same good AOA and speed bleed. However, because of the insane thrust to weight ratio that this thing has, courtesy of the 2 engines, basically probably going to be a high tier MiG-21 SMT. Only gets 6 magics for now, but apparently in real life it could carry like 10 or 12. Then you also get some guided ground ordnance in the form of BGLs and AS-30s, which should be quite nice for ground RV. You do get flare/chaff pods, because there aren't any inbuilt ones, which concerns me that Gaijin might make it not standard, which could make the stock grind quite painful. Also, I do notice they've only given it the 530F and not the 530D, so basically don't bother with the 530F, it's worse than the D, counterintuitively. Because that's the way the French alphabet goes, kids. I just want to quickly see, I think it might have the same engine as the Mirage 2000. Oh, it's not going to give me the stats on this end. There we go. 9230. So, more powerful engines than the Mirage 2000, and there's 2 of them. Admittedly, this is a much heavier plane, but even still, it's not more than twice as heavy as the Mirage 2000, so it's going to be quite interesting to play that, if I ever bother to get through the French tech tree. Boats, new premium boat for France. Once again, I don't know much about boats. So yes, but French ships always look kind of funny. Rule Britannia. It is a relatively early ship, 1920. But anyway. Sweden. They get the STRV 122B+. Don't know a ton about this. It looks kinda similar to the... Looks like it's going to be kind of similar to the other 122Bs, except for the fact that it's got this extra composite screen on the side, which apparently is quite good against heat munitions, which is nice. It doesn't get the funny bob up and down thing that the PLSS has. But other than that, kind of a standard Leopard. But yes, all very nice. It gets the Swedish round that's not DM53 if it's the other one. Slightly worse pen, but it's a much larger round from memory. 5.6 versus 4.3 for DM33. What's DM53? So yeah, it's a bit bigger than DM53, so more damage at the cost of less pen. But this BR, you don't really, it's all much of a muchness, the difference that there is. In Sweden, probably the thing that I am most excited for, I don't know what's on, oh, I guess 12.0 kind of makes sense because, whoopsies, sorry, here we go, the Griffin, one of my favourite jets. And no, I'm not a member of the Griffin cult. I do know that it's not as good as some of the other jets that I've looked at today, but I mean, it's really cool. I mean, the fact that a country the size of Sweden could make this, very impressive. Never quite sure what this is for, but it looks very beautiful. Definitely one of my favourite looking jets. Anyway, from what I've seen, it's very agile, delta wing and canards, so speed bleed, but pulls quite a bit of AOE. It's very light, it's very small compared to the F-15 and the Su-27 and the Mirage 4000. This is the A version. As I said before, Britain through South Africa will be getting the C version. From what apparently at the moment, the only difference is that the C version's going to get the HMD. But I suspect what will happen is when they add AMRAAMs, they'll add the C version for Sweden with AMRAAMs, and then for Britain, they'll keep the C version, they'll give it AMRAAMs, and they'll move it up in BR. That's what I suspect they're going to do. This is the loadouts. You get the Swedish Mavericks, you get Lightning and GBUs, and dumb bombs and rockets. It still amuses me that Sweden has 120 kilo bombs in the modern age, but anyway. You get RB74Ms, that is AIM-9Ms and Sky Flashes, and you can also carry, for your 4 inner AIM-9Ms, ones with extra flare pods, which give you an extra total 640 countermeasures, which is going to be interesting. I suspect the meta loadout will just be this, because Sky Flashes aren't really worth it nowadays. But yeah, and because you have 80 large caliber countermeasures, that gives you 720 countermeasures total, which is going to be very, very, very nice for this. I mean, 80's not going to be that great for the stock grind, but once you get those extra flare pods, it's going to be very nice. But anyway, moving on from the Griffin, as much as I hate to. That's it for Sweden, and now finally, fear not, I'm getting to the end of it. You don't have to listen to me forever. Israel gets a couple of tanks. They get the Rokev, whatever. I don't speak Hebrew. Basically an M109A1 with an extra 50 cal in the middle. Because I mean, it's Israeli, they add machine guns on top of everything. And then you get the M113. Yeah. I'm not even sure why they bother with M113s at the moment. It's still texturing, I think. They're not very good. They're quite slow and underpowered. I mean, it's not too slow, but yeah, 305 horsepower. It's not great. But, I mean, yeah. It's not going to be meta defining or anything, it's just going to be a backup vehicle. Not much to say there. And then the final thing for today is the Baz, which will be, it's an F-15A, but with Python 3s as well as AIM-9Ms. Also, I forgot to mention with the F-15J, it's a licensed built F-15C, so I do wonder once again when we get the AMRAMs, whether that'll go up in BR and get AMRAMs for the BAS, because there's a BAS A and a BAS C. So for the F-15s, I think, except for the F-15J, which I reckon will just go up in BR, the F-15, the other F-15s might just get a C variant, which will carry AMRAMs. But anyway, I think that is all for today. If I've forgotten anything, please feel free to let me know in the comments. I am very excited to see these new jets in game. I'm a little bit interested about how the ones below them are going to get power creep, but especially Sweden finally has a semi-meta jet at top tier, which is nice. I'm sorry vegan fans, it's a pretty jet, but not very meta nowadays. The only thing that concerns me is possibly this doesn't get default missiles. I'm not sure. Oh, actually it might get 2 AIM-9Ls by default, from the looks of it. Where are we? Yeah, I don't know. Could be interesting. Anyway, thank you all for joining me today, looking at the Devserver. If you have any more information that I forgot to add, or anything that I said incorrectly or whatever, please let me know in the comments. For more information on the update, if you join my Discord server, I have a channel called Update Discussion there, where I will post extra dev blogs, etc. going forward to the update. But without further ado, I won't keep you any longer. You've probably been here long enough. Thank you all for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I will see you all next time.